Hello, hello. This is a really special video for me because last year on my birthday, one of my closest friends had a baby boy. So basically, he's my birthday twin. And he is literally the sweetest, most happy baby ever. Like, he giggles for everything. And I'm just absolutely obsessed with this baby boy. For context, I don't have kids. I even go back and forth on whether I want kids in the first place, but I'm committed to be as good of an aunt to all my friends' kids as I can be. And this boy especially just hit so close to home for me, not only because of the birthday thing, but just because of how he is as a child. Like, he makes everyone around him happy. You can do anything and make this boy smile and laugh, and he's just the cutest thing ever. So I completely fell in love with this boy, and my friend, who is also one of my bridesmaids, actually moved back to France a few months after he was born. And it's felt really hard to have so much space between us, my friend and I, but also between this baby boy and I, because I feel like we were bonding in so many ways, and now he's just gone. And my friend recently came back to Boston and visited, and she let us know about it a few weeks before. And I kind of went back and forth about what I wanted to do, but I just felt like I had to do something to connect with this boy while he's not here anymore. So I literally at the last minute figured out, how about I just make him something? Like, it would be really easy to buy something, but I wanted to give him something that I made with my own hands that he could take back home with him, that he could literally have a part of me that goes with him when he's in France. So I literally gave myself 3 days to make this crochet blanket for this baby boy, and thankfully I was very excited about it. So I managed to finish it in time for him to be able to use it when he was here and when he went back home. So let me show you what the process was like. Starting off with the yarn, I spent a lot of time picking the yarn since I wanted it to be the right color and softness for baby's skin so it feels cozy and gentle. I landed on this one because it was super soft and the color reminded me of the ocean. I got comfy, opened my crochet kit that my fiance got me to find my big hook for chunky yarn. I also love the color of this hook. And then I got to work. The first rows are always a little slow. I'm still getting the hang of it again and always seem to forget how to start a new crochet project. There's also the inevitable counting of stitches. At this point, I was honestly wondering how big a 6-month-old is. I ended up measuring the blanket against myself, fully knowing it would come out to be bigger than he needed, but then again, that means he can use it for longer. I think the second row of a project is usually the hardest on me because getting the hook in that first row of stitches is notoriously hard for me. Is it just me, or is this a common thing? I'm curious. But once that was done, I was off to the races on this blanket. This is how much I got done on the first day. Once those first couple of rows are done, it gets so much more fun and meditative for me. I get hooked in the best way crocheting once I have the pattern down. Pun intended. It feels like my hands just know. And for 3 days, every spare moment I had, I was working on this. Even during meetings where I wasn't presenting, I could just let my hands run while I talked to colleagues off camera. or take a break and send something mid-meeting before going right back to it. I honestly felt so productive that day because my brain was happy the whole time. I got so much more done both at work and with the blanket. In the evening, I'd put on a cozy outfit, a cute show in the background, and work on the blanket. There's something about a deadline made of love instead of obligation. I wasn't stressed, I was excited. Every row got me closer to handing him something I made. It was also really fun to see the progress I was making on a day-to-day basis. And it wasn't perfect. If you look closely, there are a little inconsistencies, places where my tension shifted, but that's the thing about handmade. The imperfections are proof that a human made it. Proof that someone sat there, hour after hour, for you. I crocheted in the morning, I crocheted at night, I crocheted with a cup of tea going cold next to me because honestly I just forgot about it. It was just so fun having this to turn to each moment, and when I had a rough day, it was there to catch me and make it all better. There were so many little wins along the way I got to celebrate too. Getting another row done, almost getting to the end of the first skein, finishing the first skein and starting the next one, realizing I'm halfway through. Every moment making this felt so special. But here's the part I'm most excited to tell you about. As I was making it, I did something I started doing whenever I make something for someone I love. I put intentions into it, into every little stitch. It sounds a little woo-woo maybe, but I mean it completely. With every stitch, I think a wish for him, for his well-being, for his life. Things like that he'd be healthy, that he'd stay as joyful as he is right now, that he'd always feel safe, that he'd know, even from across an ocean, that he is so deeply loved. Stitch by stitch, row after row, I was basically weaving in good wishes into something he's going to be wrapped in. So this blanket isn't just yarn. It's 3 days of someone thinking only good things about you, made into something he can hold. If you've seen my video on what you're looking for in the library, there's this idea in that book that the future owner of a handmade object is already decided before it's made. The librarian felts little gifts with each person in mind before she even knows who they're made for. And making this blanket, I finally understood that completely. This blanket was his before it existed. Every stitch already belonged to him. I was just the hands who made it. This is how it turned out, and I really like it because it reminds me of waves of an ocean, and I really hope that he feels comforted and loved every time he gets wrapped in this, or he puts it on when he's cold, or when he's going to sleep. I'm so happy I finished this on time and was able to give it to him. I love the way that it turned out because looking at the colors, it kind of just looked like waves and it looked really calming and it felt so soft. So I'm happy that I was able to give it to him before he went back to France. And now every time he's cold or sleepy or being held, there's a little part of me with him too. So I think that's what's so special about making something for someone that you love. It doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be perfect. There were definitely a few imperfections in there, but it's because a piece of you is in it. You make it with so much love and attention, and I feel like there's something special about that. So if there's someone that you love in your life and you have a little creative impulse, I highly encourage you to make them something. It doesn't have to be a Picasso or the next best thing out there, but it just has to come from the heart so that you can give them a little piece of yourself too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.